Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to look at the MLB and NBA slates for this evening. Before we get into it, please be sure to hit the video with the like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Had a great day in MLB last night with the core stack. NBA did not do good at all in the two-game slate. I was high on the Minnesota players, and they just got blown out in the third quarter, and they just did not play well at all. But MLB cashed with the 151, so I made some money since I went heavy on MLB than NBA, since there's only two-game slate. Went with the core stack like most people. Blackman didn't come through, and Grandal didn't come through at all, but Story, Arenado, LeMahieu, Cordero, even Dahl, and the pitchers all did great, so finished 151, cashed in cash games and GPP contests. So looking forward to keep MLB going and get NBA back on track today. So let's start with NBA. We got a three-game slate for tonight. I like the Sixers Heat game probably the most out of all of them, if you're looking at game stack. Starting off at point guard, Goran Dragic at just 6,100. That price tag is very enticing. He's been playing pretty well this series, had two really good games at home. Now the Heat are fighting for their playoff lives tonight. If Sixers win, they win the series. So I think Dragic is going to come out and, try to put the team on his back. I mean, he is the team's all-star, lone all-star, and at 6,100. In a point guard position that's kind of weak today, I think Dragic is going to get a lot of ownership at that $6,100 price tag. Now at shooting guard, I'm going to go with Dwayne Wade at 5,800. I just have a really strong feeling about this, just kind of a gut feeling that Dwayne Wade is going to put the team on his back tonight. I think coming off the bench, he's going to have a very solid game. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, plays about 25 to 28, but Dwayne Wade really wants to go back to Miami for one more game. So I think he and Dragic are a great combo. Both are pretty cheap. I mean, Dwayne Wade's kind of expensive since he doesn't play a lot of minutes, but Wade has a lot of upside. I mean, last game in only 26 minutes, he took 22 shots. He's going to come in the game and score points. That's his job. And in this matchup, he's shown to have good success. I mean, he has two big games in the series already. And the Heat want to stay alive. They're a tough team. They play hard. So I think Dragic and Wade are a great combo, the point guard and shooting guard position. Small forward, let's go Jason Tatum at 6,000. Tatum's price tag has been steadily decreasing by a few $100, so I like to see that. I also like to see that he's playing a lot of minutes. The games 2 and 3 were blowouts, so he did not play a lot of minutes in those two games, but we saw that he played 36 last game in a very close game, and he played 44 in the overtime game in game 1, but he got 5 more minutes in overtime, but he still would have played 39 minutes in that game. He has a lot of upside. I'm expecting this game to stay close in Boston. Milwaukee really, shown that they can compete here, and now they go back to Boston with all the momentum. So I think Tatum at 6,000 is going to have a very nice game. He's been taking a lot of shots this series, and he does get you rebounds, assists, all the other peripherals as well, along with some defensive stats. So at 6,000 in a close game, I think he's going to easily hit value on that price tag. Power forward, let's go LaMarcus Aldridge at 8,700. I've been waiting for the day to play LaMarcus Aldridge this series. I was not willing to play him at $9,000 plus price tags, which he's been in the first 4 games. But coming off a couple good games here, now he's down to 8,700. And this is the price tag that we can all play LaMarcus Aldridge at. Spurs got a win in game 4, so the series is still alive. LaMarcus Aldridge is the Spurs' best chance to force a game 6. I think they're going to go to him early and often. And at the sub 9,000 price tag, we know he has huge upside here, so I think we can lock him in comfortably at 8,700. He has a high floor and a high ceiling. And then finally at center, let's go Joel Embiid at 8,900. Embiid's back under 9,000. He had a really bad shooting game, just shot 2 for 11. But knowing Joel Embiid, he's not going to let that happen again. His shot just wasn't falling. That happens to all the best players. But he still comes through with the blocks. He had 5 blocks last game, 3 the game before that. So his blocks are going to be there. His steals, he gets a couple steals a game, maybe 1 or 2. Rebounds are always there, and he's highest scoring player on the Sixers team. So he should take a lot of shots. The Sixers should go to him down in the post. Last game he was walking around the perimeter a lot, but I think Brett Brown's going to change up the game plan and play Joel Embiid in the post and get Hassan Whiteside and Kelly Olynyk in foul trouble, which is what Embiid should do. He should be playing in the post, not out on the perimeter. I think Embiid is going to have a monster game here. The Sixers are going to want to try to close the series out on their home court in front of the fans. So I think MB is going to play really well, and he said he's going to have a big bounce-back performance after he really did not play well last game. Let's go on to MLB now. We got a couple of rainy spots along the East Coast, specifically the Baltimore game and the Pittsburgh game. So, although the bats are in some good spots in those games, I'm just avoiding them because they look like they're going to get postponed. So, starting off at pitcher, we got Kenta Maeda at 9,300. The Marlins are implied for the lowest runs on the slate. Implied team total is 2.9. Kenta Maeda has great, strikeout stuff. In just 14 1/3 innings pitched so far this season, he already has 24 strikeouts. And against this Marlins team, a very weak offense in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, I think Kenta Maeda at 9,300 is probably going to be the chalk on the slate, but definitely warranted given the amount of upside he has. So I love him at 9,300. Second pitcher we got is Luke Weaver. The Mets are implied to score the second lowest runs on the day. Luke Weaver's price tag came down after he got lit up against the Cubs, but he is still a great pitcher. He just had a bad game against a very good offense. But now he's back at home in St. Louis. The Mets, they do have a pretty good offense, but I'm not really worried about it. I think Weaver has great strikeout stuff as well, and he has great upside in this matchup. He's definitely way too cheap at just 7,500. So now let's go to some of the bats. We got Kike Hernandez at first base. Hernandez hits left-handed pitching extremely well. The Dodgers are implied to score a good amount of runs here. I think they're going to lit up Peters from the Marlins. Just 3,400. Hernandez makes a lot of sense against lefty. He has over a 300 ISO against left-handed pitching. Already has 3 home runs this season, and he's very cheap at just 3,400. Third base, keep an eye on if this guy is in the starting lineup or not, but if he is, I'll be loading up on Christian Villanueva all day. He got scratched last game with a sore hamstring, but he might be back. They might just wanted to give him a rest day. But if he's in the lineup, you definitely want to get him into your DraftKings lineup. So far, in just 25 plate appearances against left-handed pitching, he already has 6 home runs, hitting .480 against them with a 1.240 slugging percentage. He absolutely crushes left-handed pitching. This game is in Coors Field. If anybody's going to have a chance to hit one out of the ballpark from the Padres, my money's on Villanueva. He's already got hit 7 home runs this season, hitting .355, and like I said, against left-handed pitching, he's hitting .480 against them so far this year with already 6 of his 7 home runs and only 25 at-bats. So lock in Villanueva at 4,200. I have really high hopes for him this evening if he's in the starting lineup, and he's probably going to be batting cleanup as well. Shortstop, we got Trevor Story, another guy that hits left-handed pitching well. This guy that plays extremely well in Coors Field. Look at the numbers. Go back in his history, but so far this season, 10 games at home, he's hitting .324 with a .794 slugging percentage. On the road, he's only hitting .196 with a .294 slugging percentage. A lot of that has to do with Coors Field. Also hits lefties extremely well. Last season against left-handed pitching, he hit .301 with a .654 slugging percentage. And the Rockies are implied to score the highest amount of runs on the day. And at 4,300, I feel really comfortable about Trevor Story. He has great pop in his bat, especially at home in Coors Field. And finally, going to give you guys a cheap outfield bat that's going to be low owned. Everybody's going to look at Rick Porcello and think that he's an amazing pitcher. But don't forget that last season he was not a very good pitcher. Last season his stats were 11-17 with a .465 earned run average. He's gotten off to a hot start. Porcello's gotten off to a hot start this season. But 2 of those games were against a very weak Tampa Bay offense. And then he did pitch well in these 2 kind of tough matchups. But I think a down game's coming for Porcello. I'm not saying to stack up on the Toronto team at all, but we can definitely go with some one-offs or even 2 players from the Blue Jays. And my money's on Hernandez at just 3,200. This guy, since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, you keep in mind that he didn't even start the first couple weeks. The Blue Jays finally gave him a look after one of their other outfielders was struggling mightily, and he has done nothing but impress them. Hitting .343 with 3 home runs so far this year. Against right-handed pitching, he is amazing. So far this year, he's hitting .476 with a 1.095 slugging percentage against right-handed pitching. Already has all 3 of his home runs came against right-handed pitching, and those 3 home runs came in only 21 at-bats. Since he didn't get a lot of playing time early on in the year. And there you have it. Those are my MLB and NBA picks for this evening. Please drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe. Website, hsdosprocess.com if you want to get my lineups. Thanks for watching and see you all tomorrow.